hoping he called at that point.
You can just feel the tension in the room.
I call.
He says call. This is a monster, and it is the hand that Phil Ivey has been waiting for. $807,000 pot. Incredible.
It was nice to make a comeback and end up winning that day and win that big of a pot.
This is absolutely unbelievable.
The way we play poker in these stakes, like it's just the chips. It's just the amount of chips. Like you don't think that the guy bet $250,000, $250,000. It's just you just look how much there's in a pot and how much percentually he bet.
You know, it's nothing personal. Nobody takes it personal. We just, here having fun and competing against each other.
Those big hands happen sometimes, and you can't always play perfect.
How much you lost in Chinese?
I lost big.
They lost. Of course, I lose every time.
Yeah,
no, I've never seen Phil win.
How much Phil win?
Unless it's over $1 million. But it happens a lot.
I'm actually the worst Chinese player.
I don't win those little numbers. You don't. I lose. You don't crank out 100.
Buttons in front of Phil Ivey.
You might be down 800 and get down to only down 100, but you never win 100.
Action on Cyril Mouley.
That's weird, isn't it?
He's reaching for chips.
Oh, and that's the reason why. 10-7, suited.
Oh.
Oh, he's back to his old tricks. He made a little over raise here. 5,300 to go.
Can you see?
A normal raise right there would have been about 3,000 to 3,500.
Phil Ivey's not going anywhere, I can tell you that.
Well,
King Jack of Hearts, he's going to call.
And Phil Ivey's got position as well.
Pass.
Andrew Feldman with the Queen Jack suited.
Pass.
And he's just looking for the nuts here.
Yeah, I think he's locked it up and decided I'm either going to break even here or I'm going to win a big pot with a big hand.
What comes Jack?
Oh, how about top two
I'd
for
say
Phil
that's,
Ivey?
Qualifies as a big hand for Phil Ivey.
Yeah, absolutely nothing there for Cyril Mouley.
10.
10,000 the bet?
And it's a $10,000 bet from Phil Ivey. Cyril Mouley here, absolutely nothing. Pot is $24,000.
Well, he's trying to decide whether to rebluff, and instead he's given up.
Yeah. Mouley and Ivey, very familiar with each other. They play together at the Bellagio in Las Vegas. Both of them playing the big game.
I think those big re-raises and raises were working earlier, but I don't think they work against players like Phil Ivey as much as they did earlier against a little group of somewhat tight players.
Well, the champagne poker is flowing here at the FullTiltPoker.com $1 million cash game. We'll see you on the other side of this. Welcome back. The mental intensity of the guys at the table right now is spot on as the game nears its conclusion. And as it does so, we'll hand you straight back to your commentators.
What was that face for?
Raised to 3,000.
Phil Ivey's going to raise this up with Queen 8 of Hearts. Phil Ivey is way more behind. He just bought in for another $500,000.
Now he's got enough to cover every player at the table. I think he didn't want to get in that same situation again with Patrick Antonius.
Call.
Patrick Antonius is going to call the raise with Ace-Queen. Andrew Feldman going to call. Wow. I forgot he was at the table. Tom Dwan going to call. And Cyril Mouley is going to call this.
We have a family pot.
$3,000 raise called
675.
by all.
And Andrew Feldman flops 3 5s. Open and straight draw for Tom Dwan. And Phil Ivey with an open and straight draw. And Cyril with a pair and a flush draw. Wow, we're going to see some fireworks here.
Give me my own paper. Okay. I just rip it
Bet
out.
16,000.
Okay.
Pass.
Telling you,
16,000.
this is going to be an enormous pot. Cyril Mouley has flopped a pair with the flush draw. Tom Dwan throws away the 4s. Antonius is going to get rid of that ace-queen. And then it's a question of how does Feldman play it? He's got bottom set.
Well, I think it's real simple. He's got to play it hard and fast. There's 3 to a flush, 3 to a straight and 2 to a flush on the board.
Well, this is the hand that Feldman's been waiting for.
Absolutely.
He has been patiently waiting for a big hand, and this is the opponent that he wants to play it against.
If I win a hand or something, it didn't add me.
Sorry.
I think it's pretty clear cut here. I think we're going to see Feldman push all in and Mooley call. I'd be shocked if we see anything different. Mooley's got 16 of his 57,000 in the middle already.
The plan ahead.
Yeah, Mooley actually bought in for another $100,000 right before this pot, so he actually has $157,000 at the start of this hand.
Well, that changes things a bit. Wow.
Yeah, Mooley with the pair and the flush draw. Feldman with bottom set. This pot is $32,000, and it's $16,000 over to Feldman. How does he play it?
Raise.
And he's going to raise it right away.
Has to. I don't blame him at all.
61,000 total.
And he makes it 61,000 total. It's 45,000 over to Mooley.
And I'll be shocked if we don't see an all-in push
I effectively gave you 300.
by Cyril here.
Yes, sir. And then there's no.
Big pot definitely brewing here. Pot is $93,000. And it's 45,000 over to Mooley.
I'll raise.
And he announces raise.
I'm all in. Cool.
And he raises. He's all in. We get a call from Feldman.
And this
Mooley
pot
is all in. Feldman has him covered.
well over $300,000 in this pot.
Exactly.
All in and a call.
Andrew Feldman all in with a set of fives. Mooley with a pair and a flush draw. And this pot is $324,000.
And the young kid, Feldman, the clear favorite right here.
Feldman on his feet is a 2-1 favorite to win this one. Let's see what happens. It's a 7.
And it's over. Oh,
He's filled
actually,
up.
a 6 can still get Mooley out of the trap.
A 6 or a 7. The 3 of clubs is not going to do it for him, though. Feldman fills up on the turn.
Full house.
Feldman felts Mooley.
It's a huge pot for Feldman.
That's the one he's been waiting for.
Yeah, he's patiently been waiting. He had to stand up for that one.
I think if it had come with 3 clubs on the turn and then the 7 on the river, the young kid might have had a heart attack.
Yeah.
And what a huge pot for Andrew Feldman. Andrew Feldman, who started this day in the hole. He was down $100,000 right away when he made a big call against Phil Ivey, and it was the wrong call. Has battled his way back, and now Andrew Feldman is up, and up big.
Hi, I'm Andrew Feldman. I won the UK Open 4 in 2007 for $250,000, and I'm a sponsored Full Tilt Pro. I realised I had what it takes to play at the top level when I started to make in a day what I was in a year at my local supermarket. When I realised that there was a huge amount of money for me to make, then I knew I had talent to progress to the very top. For me, it's all about your real analytical approach to the game and your gut instinct, and it's sort of a natural talent. You've either got it or you don't.
It's been a crazy day of poker. Patrick Antonius is on top of the leaderboard with 183,000. But what a ride for Cyril Mooley. He was the leader at one time. Now he's the big loser. He's stuck $300,000. He's bought in for another $150,000, trying to get his money back. And there he is. What a roller coaster for this guy. He's on the button right now. At what point? He was up nearly $200,000. Now he's down $300,000. It's a $500,000 swing.
He basically went from the penthouse to the outhouse. Wow, what a swing.
Too tired for poker.
No limit hold'em. It can be a cruel, cruel game.
I would want to play Chinese too if I get a royalty every other second.
Raise. 4,000.
Looks like Patrick gets, yeah.
Andrew Feldman opens the pot with ace-queen. Cyril calls from the button with 9-7 of hearts.
Have you ever seen me win in the Chinese?
Yeah.
And Ivy's in there as well with the ace-10.
There was that one day you won $8.5 million.
See how this one plays out. Here's the flop.
Flop is 5, 4,
Forgot
ace,
about that.
check.
Sorry.
Ace 5-4. Feldman with the best of it, but nobody has a club. Pot is $13,500.
Remember you had the other day when I lost. You had straight.
I could slow them down a bit.
Well, it slows everybody down. They all check. Here's the turn. Deuce of clubs.
Deuce, check.
And Feldman still with the best of it.
Bet 7,000.
He may have the best of it, but Cyril's going to represent
Call.
the club.
Well, I think Ivy puts Mooley on nothing. Knows Feldman can't overcall. Feldman doesn't overcall. He gets rid of his hand.
Is that, you upset about that? This little hand?
And Ivy way ahead. Another club will chop it up.
King.
No, it's the king of diamonds.
I want to win every hand I play.
Check.
Fair enough.
I'm very competitive.
And does Mooley have the courage to
Check.
bet again? No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't bet again, and Ivy's going to win this one.
Fold ace queen.
Oh my God.
There was a reason why you were upset.
Oh my God.
And Andrew Feldman could have won this pot with ace-queen. And Mooley bleeding more chips. Feldman, did he miss a bet there? I mean, he could have taken that one away.
Yeah, I prefer a bet on the flop by Feldman right there.
Play like a nit.
I'm surprised he didn't at least take a stab at it.
Well, he's shaking his head. I mean, I think he thinks the same thing.
I'm losing, you're winning. So everything's all right.
I'm still down to you though.
Why are you worried about me for? There's 4 other people here.
I'm not worried about you. I just wanted to win that pot.
What's this hand right here?
I want to bust Patrick.
Okay, I could respect that.
What else?
That's fair enough.
Andrew Feldman, first to act. The Englishman folds his cards. Cyril Mooley, the Frenchman, gets out of the way.
Just wants to beat me, that's fair. And just wants to bust you, that's okay too.
Got a kind of an international table here. We've got the Americans, we've got the Finn, the Frenchman, and the Englishman.
Check.
Sounds like some really bad joke.
Wow.
I was going to say, what's the punchline?
That's smart.
Well, right now, the punchline is Cyril Mooley.
Flop is queen, deuce.
How about a queen, 5 deuce, couple of spades? Patrick Antonius, the best of it right now, the pair of fives.
1,000. Raise to 4,000.
And I have a feeling Ivy's going to toss this one in the muck.
I have a feeling you're right.
I hate when they tricked it like that, don't you?
Yep, there it is. Patrick Antonius takes it down.
I hate it so much. I always fall for it, too. I mean, it's not like it matters at all, other than I just get really sad when I'm bluffing. And, you know, I do it both times. But if I have a good hand and they fake me out, I don't get that happy. If I have a bad hand and they fake me out, I get so unhappy.
Action on Tom Dwan.
Leave Danny home.
In a very tough spot. He's got a couple of tough players to his left.
I would say that qualify has a very strong statement, but a very true one.
Raise to 3,600.
Tough draw for the kid, Tom Durr, as he goes by online. Very tough seating position for him.
Call.
He's going to raise it up. Phil Ivy's going to call.
Pass.
Antonius gets out of the way. Feldman gets out of the way. And it's over to the Frenchman in the big blind.
21.
How about a re-raise?
21,000.
Makes it 21,000 with the ace-jack offsuit.
I'm not
Pass.
surprised whatsoever.
Pass.
Tom Dwan passes. Phil Ivy passes. And Cyril Mooley finally has something go his way.
That's okay. I didn't do anything.
Mooley's still down over $300,000.
I haven't been doing nothing. Oh, the other night I went out.
Yeah, actually.
FullTiltPoker.net $1 million cash game. 5-handed.
He asked for it.
I won 9 being against
Straddle
6,
is
7.
2.
He's far away, so.
Straddled pot here. Action on Antonius. Not going to play.
You're welcome, man.
2,000 to play if you want to see the flop.
Action on Andrew Feldman with the Snowman, 2 8s in his hand.
Hey, he's got the snowman.
He'll probably make it 6,000 or 7,000 to play. I would
Also in
say.
position.
7.
makes it 7,000 to go.
Pretty standard.
No, I don't think Dwan's going to fold this one. Kind of hand exact kind of hand he wants to play.
10 jack suited plays well in a multi-way pot, so he definitely doesn't mind more callers the better.
Now, the one thing, Andrew Feldman, as tight as he's playing, when he raises in this spot, it is holding somewhat polarized.
23-6 total.
Actually, I agree with what you're saying 100%. I think it narrows the range of hands that Andrew Feldman could have here.
I mean, you figure he's got a pair, I mean, a medium or a big-size pocket pair, or ace-king, ace-queen. I mean...
Well, you'll definitely be able to define the hand by this re-raise right here pre-flop. I'd be surprised if we see a call by Feldman. Tom Dwan really hasn't played back at Feldman much in the last few hours.
Feldman's pretty deep, though. Feldman started this pot with $350,000. Dwan with $375,000.
I think that was part of why Tom Dwan made this re-raise.
Well, that's the problem also. If Feldman were to call with the eights, you just don't know where Dwan's at. Dwan can do this with 4-5 suited. He can do it with Jack-10 suited. He can do it with pocket aces.
That's right. I think you're 100% correct. And that's why I think Feldman's probably going to lay this down. I'd be surprised if he calls.
I mean, I'm not sure if Andrew Feldman is comfortable playing a very, very big pot against Tom Dwan.
Once again, I agree with you.
Action on Feldman.
He could be deciding whether it's worth trying to flop a set right now.
23-6.
And it's $23,600 to Feldman.
It's a big re-raise.
Yeah. It's an additional $16,600. Well, if you knew Tom Dwan had aces or kings, let's say this is Chris Ferguson, and you knew Tom Dwan had aces or kings, you could call for set value. The problem is Tom Dwan doesn't necessarily need a hand like that to make this move.
That's the problem. If he was playing against a predictable player, I agree with you.
I mean, even if you hit your set, you might not get paid.
On top of that, you could be against a higher set. It's hard to know where you're at in this hand.
Well, if you flop a set, you flop a set. I'm not.
Well, when you got $350,000 in front of you, though, that kind of changes things a bit. Stacks are pretty deep. I'd be real surprised if Feldman calls here.
I mean, he's in position with pocket eights. I mean, it's a perfect spot.
Well, he's almost assured to get a bet into him if the flop comes anything dangerous or anything innocent.
Yeah, Feldman's just not going to get involved.
I don't blame him. Tom Dwan just too tricky of a player. I think I would have took 2 queens. Queens are higher for Feldman to get involved in that pot.
I got to tell you, I mean, I think Andrew Feldman has, I said it before, I think Andrew Feldman has a really great poker future in front of him. But like you said, I think this game may be a little bit out of his comfort zone. $2 million at this table. Action is on Andrew Feldman. This is a straddled pot. Phil Ivey's decided to put $2,000 in. And Feldman going to raise this up. And that's why.
2 matching 9s. 1 red, 1 black.
Cool.
2 matching 9s.
Well,
is there a way they cannot be matching? Well, oh, wow.
Look at the pot developing here.
Now we've got a raise from Feldman on the button. A call from Mooley in the small blind. Ace-king for Dwan. Ace-jack for Phil Ivey.
We might have a pot developing here.
Oh, I definitely think we've got a pot developing here. And the original raise was $6,100 from Feldman.
29.7.
You get a call, then you get a re-raise to $29,000 and change from Tom Dwan. Now we've seen Feldman already throw pocket eights away. pocket nines. Now, you said he wouldn't play anything queens or above.
Yeah, but this is a little different situation. It looks like a squeeze play because of Cyril Mooley calling in between.
I understand it looks like a squeeze play, but I don't think Feldman wants to gamble, and that's exactly why he does. He throws it away. He's up over $100,000. He's just not in the mood to get into a big pot against Tom Dwan.
Even in position.
I think he just has so much respect for Tom Dwan. I think if you were to ask him, he probably thinks Tom Dwan's a better player than him. Right now he is. Give him a couple of years, though. Feldman will be there.
Well, I think the stakes have something to do with it as well. Tom Dwan plays these stakes on a daily basis, and these are pretty big stakes for Feldman. I know he plays high, but I don't think he plays this high.
Well, Mooley not going to play it, and it's a great move by Tom Dwan. He didn't necessarily need a hand to make that move, but this time he did have a hand. Ace-King. And he wins himself about $14,000 without even seeing a flop.
That's always the way you want it if you can have it.
You got to love Tom Dwan in your game here. He's about $400,000 in front of him. He's bought in for $500,000, so he's down about $100,000.
Big for me.
I think Feldman needs to start limping in that spot. That's the only way to combat that.
And you 2 as well.
Well, if you don't want to play a big pot, if you want to see the flops cheaper, you got to keep the pot cheaper.
2,000 straddle.
Now there's a straddle from Mr. Patrick Antonius. Welcome back to the game.
And I believe Andrew Feldman has raised it up.
And he has.
7,000.
Raised it up this time with King Queen. Made it 7,000. And the interesting thing is, if these players know the kind of hands that Feldman is folding, you can re-raise them pretty much every single time.
That's true.
Well, Feldman's going to win that one. It's the FullTiltPoker.net $1 Million Cash Game. Some big names here at the table. Patrick Antonius, Phil Ivey, Tom Dwan, Andrew Feldman, and Cyril Mooley trying to combat these three.
7.
Well, 7,000.
Cool.
Dollar raise from Mooley and a call from Tom Dwan with the King Queen.
Pass.
Ivy gets out of the way.
Pass.
Antonius gets out of the way. Tom Dwan's got to love it. Heads up against Mooley.
With position.
Here's the flop.
5, King, Queen.
Well,
he might have just got his wish. He flopped top 2, and Mooley flops a flush draw.
yeah, this has got the makings of a monster. Mooley, a 2-to-1 dog. He's got the flush draw. He's going to lead out for 15,000. It looks like.
20.
Actually, 20,000. He overbets the pot. Tom Dwan with top 2.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a flat call. He might try to trap Mooley.
Mooley with 172,000 at the start of this pot.
Cool.
And you called it. Tom Dwan does call. Pot is now 56,500. Oh, it's the 9 of diamonds. Tom Dwan not drawing dead, though. Mooley has made the flush. Dwan needs a king or a queen on the river.
I think Mooley has to bet again because he can't take a chance that Dwan has a diamond in his hand.
Patrick Antonius watching this one. Big pot brewing.
53.
And he bets 53,000.
How much more do you have?
80?
No.
80? Maybe? 100?
2 black chips or 3?
80,000. 80.
Just 2 black chips?
Dwan asked for a count. He wants to know exactly what he's up against. How many chips? And I tell you, Mooley started this pot with $172,000. Dwan has him covered. And Mooley has bet 53,000. And now it's the question, does Dwan think he's got the best of it or not?
No.
And he's all in. Tom Dwan is all in. There's no way Mooley's folding this one.
I can't imagine him folding this one.
No chance.
I call.
And he calls.
And he calls.
Mooley calls. And Tom Dwan has 4 outs. He needs a king or a queen, or he is going to double up Mooley.
And a $346,000 pot at stake.
One card left. A flush for Mooley. Top 2 pair for Dwan. Here's the river. It's a queen!
My gosh!
Unbelievable!
Oh! What a dagger in the heart of Mooley. Wow.
Well, you know, if there's any justice. Oh. Unbelievable. That's all I can say.
And you can see the dejected look on Mooley's face. Wow.
Remember earlier, Tom Dwan lost a $500,000 pot when he got all his money in with pocket aces against Patrick Antonius' kings.
Oh, 150 more.
What?
150 more.
I don't know.
Oh, wow. Mooley gets his money in good. Tom Dwan, down to 4 outs with 1 card to come, catches the queen.
And that pot actually puts Tom Dwan winner in this game.
Mooley now down $450,000.
And it looks as if the Frenchman is accepting defeat.
And Cyril Mooley is taking the long walk away from the table. He was once the big winner. He was once up $200,000. He's going to leave our big loser losing nearly $500,000.
Cool.
Well, it's a long, long walk out of the casino.
I'll tell you that.
You just can't imagine a lineup like this. Patrick Antonius, Phil Ivey, Tom Dwan playing No Limit Hold'em.
So Phil owes you 15,000.
Can you mark me for plus?
Why are we playing so cheap? It's just the 3 of us. I just thought of that. What do y'all want to play?
What do you want to play?
I want to play
Mr. Fresh?
I want to play any of this. That's what I want to play. I want to play.
Mr. I said
play
go
any of
light.
that. Any of that, and then what are we gonna do here? This
Button in front of Tom Dwan. I can't think of a better short-handed lineup.
Blinds are 500, blinds are 1,000, 2,000.
They've upped the stakes. We are going to play 1,000, 2,000 blinds with a $500 ante. Yes, you've heard that correctly. It is 1,000, $2,000 blinds with a $500 ante. We're playing 3-handed. Phil Ivey with the Jack Deuce.
7.
Andrew Feldman standing up behind Patrick Antonius. And there's Patrick Antonius' cards, Ace 3. And Andrew Feldman has had enough.
Can we play Omaha too or no?
Feldman's won about $130,000 today.
Potland in Omaha?
It was a good showing for the young poker player.
7, Ace, 9.
What time we done for today? 9?
Check.
Dwan versus Antonius.
7,000 total.
Give me 500 more in.
Patrick Antonius with top pair.
$13,200.
Tom Dwan going to bet $13,200. Pot is $17,300 before that bet.
13,200.
Now, pot is over $30,000. Can't imagine Antonius folding top pair though.
Cool.
And he just calls that. Doesn't feel like breaking up his reds. And here's the turn.
5.
5 of spades. Tom Dwan cannot win this pot unless he gets Antonius to fold. Pot is $43,700. action on the Finnish superstar.
Oh, wait, I have you guys covered. I don't need five.
Check, check.
And he goes check, check. Here's the river.
Jack.
River's the jack of diamonds. Well, if there were any more cards, Dwan would be in good shape. Unfortunately for him, that's it. Well, Patrick Antonius, let's see if he puts a little value bet out there. It looks like 30,000.
32.
It's 32,000. $32,000 bet. I mean, Dwan's only got queen high. Phil Ivey gets up from the table. He's watching them. Patrick Antonius, though, staring straight ahead, giving nothing away. Pot is $75,000, and it's $32,000 over to Dwan. Dwan's only got queen high, but he's reaching for more chips. Could he re-raise this? He's counting out chips. He's got some black ones in his hand. Is he going to try to represent 10-8? Nah, he's not. He thought about it. He thought about it for a second. Well, he thought about it for longer than a second. But at the end of the day, he thought better. And his cards hit the muck. Tom Dwan, a very thoughtful poker player. He thinks everything through.
Chicken.
It's the $1 million cash game. This is the leaderboard. Patrick Antonius on top of it. He's up $209,000. Andrew Feldman, who has just left the game, is up $131,000. Gus Hansen has already left $119,000 up. Our big losers, Alan Cunningham, what a surprise. Nearly down $200,000. But our huge loser, Cyril Mooley, is out. He's been felted a few times, down nearly $500,000. They've upped the stakes. We are going to play 1,000, 2,000 blinds with a $500 ante.
No, he did. There was one day. And then Arno. And that was it.
Button in front of Tom Dwan.
No.
Now, in this case, the button is actually going to act first pre-flop, but gets to act last post-flop.
6-7 of hearts will open the pot. It's the hand that Tom Dwan has in front of him right now. Phil Ivey with an ace.
Ivey going to raise this up to 23,000.
Yes.
In position, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a call from Tom Dwan here. 17,000 more, though. That's an overraise.
Tom Dwan thinking about what to do here. He's got 7-6 of hearts.
Ironically enough, we have a coin toss before the flop.
I mean, Robert, who has the edge in this game? I'm looking. Patrick Antonius, Tom Dwan, Phil Ivey. Three of the best in the world. Who's got the edge?
I'd be guessing if I told you. I don't really know.
Well, go ahead and guess. I'm curious.
I have to say Phil Ivey overall, but it's a close one. Real close.
Well, Tom Dwan is going to call. We're going to see a flop.
3-5.
Jack 5-3. Both players pick up a gut shot. If the 4 falls, talk about an action card.
Especially if it's not a club.
If a 4 falls, we're going to see some action. Ivy with a 4 would make the wheel. A 4 would give Dwan the nuts, as long as it's not a 4 of clubs, like you said.
Yeah.
Phil Ivey bets out 35,000 into this pot.
Pot is an astonishing $84,500. There's no going back from this.
This is a tough call for Tom Dwan, actually. He's got enough gamble. He's capable of calling here.
Well, it's not just calling for a 4, you're calling to float as well. And
Call.
In position.
he can call to represent clubs. He can call to represent that he's got a pair of 5s, a jack.
Call.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Oh, wow. This is unbelievable. Ivy cannot win this pot, but he's made a straight.
Both players have a straight.
Talk about the gin card. Ivy makes the wheel. Dwan has the absolute nuts.
We could see the largest pot ever in televised poker history.
There's 75,000.
80, 85,
90.
90,000.
90,000. Phil Ivey bets $90,000. If you're Tom Dwan, what do you do?
Wow, with a flush draw out there, I'm sorry, I'm going to go ahead and raise right here. But I'm not going to raise my whole stack. I'm going to raise it about 200,000 more. Make it look like I can still lay my hand down. Maybe 150 more even.
Now, Ivy's one of the best in the world, but can he get away from a wheel? He's made the straight. Both players have made the straight. Tom Dwan with the absolute nuts. Oh, talk about a gin card on the turn. Well, the biggest pot in the history of televised poker is just over 900,000. We have a chance of breaking that right here. Tom Dwan with the nuts. The 7 high straight. Phil Ivey with the 5 high straight.
He's definitely going to raise here.
The pot is $209,000. The action is on Tom Dwan.
Unbelievable.
142.6.
And the raise is 142,000 more. And this is where we're going to see how good is Phil Ivey. He's staring at Dwan's stack, trying to figure out where he's at.
258.
Can I have it all? Can I get all those chips?
I don't think Ivy can get away from this hand, but I'll tell you what, he is considered the best cash game player in the world. If anybody can get away, it's Phil Ivey.
I mean, at this point, I don't even know if Ivy wants to get away.
I'm all in.
And he's
all in! Oh my gosh.
Ivy is all in. Dwan calls with the nuts. Ivy cannot win this pot.
Wow. Good hand.
Oh my gosh.
That's no good.
We have just broken poker television history. 1.1 million in this pot.
And he's drawing dead.
It is the biggest pot in the history of televised poker. And it's going to Tom Dwan. He's got the nut straight.
We just saw poker history made right here tonight.
26, 36, 96.
And they're counting the chips right now. The Jack of Hearts in the river, completely irrelevant. A 1.1 million chip pot going to Tom Dwan.
Make sure these aren't there. Yeah. You can leave that up.
Oh, Patrick Antonius even wincing. Everybody standing up.
360, 370, 380,
400,700.
390.
Wow. Phil Ivey saying goodbye to all that money. Those are $25,000 chips. A $1.1 million pot going to Tom Dwan.
Phil Ivey lost over $500,000 in one hand.
Tom Dwan is now up $608,000. Phil Ivey now down $627,000. Both players with straights.
Maybe all of it.
Tom Dwan with the nuts.
Should I just take? Let me just take. I'll just take the whole thing.
Seems fair to me.
Ivy on the button. 6-4. Not going to play. Patrick Antonius. King, Queen. When you get a raise from Antonius.
6-4.
Possibly a re-raise from Dwan with the King, Queen. Let's see how it's played.
Cool.
When we get a call, we're going to see a flop. And I've got to tell you, Robert, I'm actually shaking in the commentary booth. I'm actually shaking.
Wasn't even our money, and I'm in just disbelief. I'm in awe over here.
Well,
It's
Patrick Antonius bets $10,000 there, and he takes that one down. And we're still talking about big pots here, but never before. A $1.1 million pot.
Well, we knew it was possible the second they raised the stakes, and they all had over $500,000 in front of them. But possible doesn't mean it's actually going to happen. It happened. Well, we said if a 4 offsuit rolled off the deck, we might have a big pot. And wow, we were right.
And this is the last hand of Season 4 of the FullTiltPoker.net $1 million cash game. It's been an absolute privilege to be here.
Sure has.
Once again, I'm David Tuckman. I'm joined by World Series of Poker bracelet winner Robert Williams III.
And this has been the most exciting match I've ever watched, David. I don't know about you.
What's been fantastic about it, we were 8-handed, we were 7-handed, and now we're 3-handed. It's like the last men standing, and it's 3 of the best. Unbelievable. $2.2 million on the table. I don't know about you. I can't wait till Season 5 starts.
It'll definitely be exciting. It's going to be hard to top this season, though. I mean, we played the largest pot in televised poker history.
Raised to 13,200.
I think that every year. I think every single year that I can't top it.
This game's over. We quit.
It's all over. That's it.
And no more chance for redemption for Phil Ivey. Not tonight, anyway.
Well, the winner is alongside. We can start only in one place, and that is that incredible hand with Phil Ivey. Can you just put into words, what it felt like when the cards were turned over?
I mean, the cards turning over didn't matter as much as me hitting the Jing card on the turn and being pretty happy when Phil bet into me and just hoping he had a hand too, and he did, and it was just a sick cooler for him. There's no way he can get away from his hand, and I just got a lucky turn card.
Oh my gosh!
Every time that happens, I'm gonna get all the money there. I mean, the pot's already 100,000, and he turns the third nuts, and I have the best possible hand. I mean, I'm always gonna win all the money, so there's nothing he can do there. So I was just really lucky to be in that situation.
It was incredible to watch. Obviously, we spoke to you throughout the course of the cash game, and when things weren't going too bad, you were pretty philosophical about it. Did you feel that the big hand was only a few moments away?
I don't think I'm ever too philosophical. I was just hoping to run good, and then I did.
Come on.
And he's all in! Oh my gosh.
Ivy is all in. Dwan calls with the nuts. Ivy cannot win this pot.
Oh my gosh.
It's poker, you can be down one hand and win it all back plus on the next, or you just keep losing or keep winning, whatever. There's a lot of variance in the game, obviously, as you saw today. And there can be huge hands where, no one could do anything different in either spot. But just happened to have two huge hands against each other. So.
I must say as well that I think you were the record holder for the largest ever pot win before today. You've enhanced that again further. How far are you going to take this?
I mean, let's keep going. Seems like a good plan to me. Yeah, let's keep going. Yeah, we'll do like 1.3 in a few months, and then yeah, that'd be sweet.
Phil, I'm afraid there's only really one place we can start, even for someone as philosophical about cards as you. How much does that massive hand, the one that got away from you, hurt?
It doesn't hurt at all, actually. I'm kind of immune to it. I mean, it didn't really bother me. I mean, the hand kind of played itself. Once I re-raised him and then the 4 came on the turn, there was nothing I could do. The money's going to go in the middle. He had the best hand. I had to, the second best hand. That's just the way it is.
That aside, how did you feel you played over the course of the cash game?
I thought I played pretty good. I'm not unhappy with the way I played. I thought I played pretty good. I bluffed the pots I needed to.
Wow, what a play by Phil Ivey. Always seems to know exactly when to bluff, how much to bluff, and who to bluff.
And I won a lot of hands. I was doing a lot of dancing and in and out of a lot of pots. But my timing was decent. Besides that one hand I lost, everything was going fine. I was breaking about even. I mean, nothing really good happened. So, I thought I played all right.
How easy is it to compartmentalize, a loss like that and presumably just move on and keep going, keep winning in the way that you have been?
Well, it's easy for me because, I play poker every day almost, and those hands, they come up all the time. So sometimes you're on the right end of them, sometimes you're not.
Season 4 of the FullTiltPoker.net $1 million cash game started with $300, $600 blinds, 7 players, and $1 million on the table. It ended with $2,000, $4,000 blinds, a $1.1 million pot, and Tom Dwan as our big winner. Patrick Antonius also won big, $228,000 richer. Andrew Feldman, $131,000 richer. And surprisingly, our big losers, Alan Cunningham, almost $200,000 poorer, and Phil Ivey, one of the best players in the world, $629,000. An absolute amazing television event. I hope you enjoyed it half as much as I did. Let's get back to the table for the presentation.
Well, there's no doubt that Season 4 of the $1 million cash game has lived up to all expectation. We've seen some fantastic hands, and poker history has been made along the way. And at the end of it all, we have a brand new champion. I'd like to welcome to the table the cash game manager, Barry Mundy, to present the 2009 trophy to Tom Dwan. Congratulations, Tom.
They're great players. It's not a pushover field at all.
It's like the toughest field in history.
I'm playing good enough to beat these guys.
We just saw poker history made right here tonight.
If you're not excited, check your pulse.